Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. A very warm welcome to Meet Menaca, celebrating you. Today, we are in the episode of 95. We are going to be discussing developing the mindset to life of fulfillment with Dr. Raman Velu, who is a real estate entrepreneur and a life coach. We will come back to the speaker because he has much more to talk about him than those few words. Why are we talking about developing the mindset for fulfilling life? Being fulfilled is an incredible feeling, but unfortunately, it is also the feeling that many of us have trouble finding. Fulfillment is an easy concept on the surface, yet it is so elusive and difficult to navigate through. So, living a fulfilling life is well within the reach of each of us. Here are some ways to discover the fulfillment as per the experts. Being content, taking some time out from your daily crazy routine and connecting to yourself, practicing an attitude of gratitude, practicing mindfulness, exploring and having a childlike interest and curiosity and feel of adventure, treating yourself like royalty, healthy eating, physical activity, connecting to nature, commitment to lifelong learning, embracing life outside your comfort zone. These are a few, but I'm no expert by any stretch of imagination. So we have invited Dr. Raman Velu to find out about the importance of this topic and be part of an exclusive Q&A session with the speaker who will share his expertise on this subject. Why are you here for the talk show? This talk show was launched to help people celebrate themselves, empower each other, and overcome the social norms and difficulties we face in this modern world. So please support us by sharing knowledge. Our speakers generously come and share here, and also subscribing to our YouTube channel, Meet Menaca. By doing that, you are becoming a change maker and creating an impact yourself. Now, back to the speaker. What can I say about Raman Velu? He has many hats. He has experience far richer than I can talk today, but it is very varied, spanning across business intelligence to helping people get a lot closer to financial independence through his real estate investment consulting. He is a real estate entrepreneur serving investors all over the US. He plays a vital role in Dallas Tamil community through his nonprofit Sasta Tamil Foundation and Plano Tamil School. He promotes personal growth through volunteering and giving. He is known for coordinating curricular competitions for children across the USA, awarding $1 per choral recited. His values contribution as the best way to live, and gratitude as one of the best emotions to practice, which, if combined with servant leadership attitude, will help lead a fulfilled life. He believes that we need to strengthen ourselves first, physically, financially, and emotionally, so we have enough to contribute to family, community, nation, and the universe. He holds a degree in instrumentation engineering and a master's degree in business administration. He's practicing as a life coach, helping people to get to the next level in any area of life. He's a senior leader serving as a volunteer for Tony Robbins' life-changing international seminars. He has recently been awarded with an honorary doctorate, and he has written and published a book, 7 Steps to a Fulfilled Life, both in Tamil and in English. Who better to talk about the subject? Firstly, it is very humbling and it's an honor to have you on the show. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Raman Velu.
Thank you, Dr. Menaca.
It's a pleasure to have you. So without further ado, let's dive in and find out all about fulfillment today. We have invited you as an expert to discuss about fulfillment today. How did you arrive at this point? I know it's not an easy feed by any means of imagination. So how did you manage to arrive at this point?
Sure. First of all, vanakkam everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, as Dr. Menaca said. And it is the evening here. I'm talking to you from Coimbatore. I'm from Dallas, Texas, originally, and I'll be back to Dallas in a couple of months. It is a true honor to be a part of Menaca's show and esteemed audience who are gathered here. I understand a lot of you are doctors as well. And I've been to London for a London summit by RISE, and I had the privilege to meet Dr. Raj Rudran, and I want to thank him for the kind referral to this particular show, and I'm truly honored to be here today. And I also would like to express my gratitude to my guru, Tony Robbins, and my Satya Sai Balavika's gurus, Uma Rao and Dr. Rao, as well as my parents while starting the show. And the question was, how did you arrive at this point, right? And I was the only son to my parents, and I was born when my father was 58 years old. So they struggled so much to get a son, and so I was given all kinds of, I don't know, privileges or whatever it is. I don't know, it worked in my favor. It looked like it worked in my favor. I got whatever I wanted, but I was very demanding. I was very egoistic. And so I found all those, I was successful, but at the same time, I was a little bit more authoritative, egoistic. And even though success was easy for me, happiness was not. And it was troubling me. What's the point of success without any kind of happiness, right? At the end, I conduct a huge event, and the event goes so successful, and somebody comes and says this and that, and then finally I get so upset because those two people were not happy. Oh my God. And so people think that, oh, no, the event was successful, but I was unhappy. And it only reminds me of something like, there are a lot of doctors, don't mistake me. Operation is a success, but patient died. That's like that. You know, I was successful, but I was not happy, right? So now fast forward, I came to United States in 1998, and I was in Toastmasters, and I was introduced to Tony Robbins, and I attended his event. And in one of his events called The Date with Destiny, I understood that success was the highest priority for me. And I was compromising my relationship with anyone, or my health, or everything else next to success. So that itself was a problem. That's what I understood. And not only that, there was another problem. There was a rule for me, unless there is no complaint, I cannot call it as a success. That was an unwritten rule in my mind. I did not know that. And I figured it out during the program. And then I rewritten that, saying, even if one or two people come and say that, hey, man, you did a good job, the event is a success. It doesn't matter, because it is, when you want everybody to be happy, you are setting yourself for a failure, right? So then that is when I started, like, okay, you need to just change your rules and, do something different and keep contributing towards happiness, right? So what I did was, after that, the Sasta Tamil Foundation was started. That's a non-profit organization. And it was started on top of the Tamil school, which we founded in 2000, my wife and I. And the Sasta Tamil Foundation has got now 425 students in the Tamil school and over 100 volunteers. And I applied a lot of principles of Tony Robbins. And so at the end, there are a lot of people are sticking with me even after 15 years. And we all have grown together. We have raised over $1 million for charity. And we have, all of us have got plenty of fulfillment and have gratitude to each other. So, man, then I figured volunteering is the best way to live the life, and that is where your fulfillment lies. So I started recruiting volunteers, and sometimes I was not able to talk to them fully for about an hour. Then I needed to write a book, and that is where I have written this book called 7 Steps to a Fulfilled Life. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Beautifully said. As they say, if you don't want anybody to criticize, you can only sell ice cream or something very similar. There will be always critics. There will be people who are against the grain of what you say and what you stand for. And I think I am a bit like you, or definitely I'm still work in progress. My brother used to tell this. I have a practice, and he used to sometimes come into the practice to help us as an accountant. And on our way back, I will always talk about that one particular patient who is not that happy. And he used to tell, why are you not talking about these 24 people who are really happy with? It's very similar. I think some personalities, we are told to do that from a very young age. It's very unfair to my mom. I always bring this into the shows. I grew up in a family, 9 out of 10 was not success. So I think you definitely get those things and, bring along. And then, life is full of failures. That's one thing definitely I have learned so far. So it is really important to accept the failures and setbacks. So thank you so much for bringing that in the front and setting the scene for people. I think that is the first step to fulfillment, isn't it? To agree that we are going to fail and they are going to be. So, you have definitely given us an easy hack to go for fulfillment. I'm sure you will have many more tips to tell about.
Yeah, change your rules is one of them. Change your rules. Make it easy to get happy. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Success is very subjective, right? For someone, it is $1 million in the bank. For some people, it is having a loving, caring family. For some people, it is being able to have the time to follow their heart and involve in their hobbies or contribute, like you said. So, what is happiness and fulfillment? Is that subjective? And what is your definition of happiness and fulfillment?
Fulfillment is much better and bigger than happiness for sure. And let's say happiness, let's take for example, when we eat chocolate or ice cream, do you feel happy? Yes, of course. You feel happy. But is it good for you? Is it good for your health? Is it going to be fulfilling for you when you are going to be affected for some reason if you continuously eat chocolates and ice cream, right? So it can cause issues. So basically, the happiness cannot continuously get you the fulfillment for sure, right? And fulfillment is, I would like to call the Pongal, right? In Tamil, we say Pongal. Magirchi ponguradhu, paanailerந்து ponguradhu. That means that is a fulfillment. So it is abundance. It's a feeling of abundance, right? That is the fulfillment. Some people, they don't laugh, but they are fulfilled. They are happy that they have contributed. They are happy that they have written a book. They are happy that they are doctors. They are able to save a lot of lives. They feel fulfilled inside. That's it. That is fulfillment. So that is about feeling of abundance. What Tony Robbins says about fulfillment. The art of fulfillment is the ability to experience not only the thrill of the chase, but also the magic of the moment, the unbridled joy of feeling truly alive. So basically, probably I just said a word a little bit wrong, but the point here is you relive the moment, you enjoy the moment, and you attribute the thankfulness to everything that has happened. And like say, I came to London, and I met Raj Rudran, I went to Italy, I went to Norway, and I have a lot of stories, and I have a lot of photographs. And so I go through that and then share it, and then I relive the moment like a magic moment. So when you are thankful about the moment and then we relive, that is where the fulfillment comes in. So it is not about just, okay, I have done this, just move on, move on, move on. Then you are not really enjoying the whole thing, right? So how do we do that? There is a way to do that. There is a strategy for that, which we are going to look at it in the next few questions. Yes.
Perfect. You're talking to a chocoholic dentist, so I know I should look for fulfillment outside chocolates. So that's a great tip for me personally. I'm sure other people will relate to whatever their thing is, from golf to gaming to. So you have told us what is fulfillment is better than happiness. So for you, why is fulfillment important, and why should we try to attain fulfillment?
Achievement without fulfillment is meaningless. Achievement without fulfillment is disheartening. And so if somebody has got $1 billion, several $1 billion in his account, and nobody respects him, and he himself doesn't respect himself because of the acts and deeds he has done, and he did not develop a good relationship with the children, and the children doesn't want to come and see him when he was sick and ill and he was going to die, what is the point of his success, right? So the success without fulfillment is a true failure, a true failure. So that is why fulfillment is the most important thing. The money cannot keep you fulfilled over a period of time. Money can get you a lot of things, but at some point of time, something else is going to become important. But that we have to start cultivating from now onwards. And strategically, you can habituate certain things to create fulfillment. And I have kind of hacked it. So figuring out fulfillment can keep you purposeful, can keep you active, can keep you happy, and keep you wanted, like in the sense people want you. And finally, you feel good about yourself and your life, even at the last part of your life. A lot of us, at least in this call, are my age or similar. Like I'm 60 years old, and definitely we are, the life expectancy is going like 100, because people are feeling old only after 80. That's what I heard recently. So now if we start practicing all this, then we can have a much better, great life rest of the life. How about that? So that is why fulfillment is important.
You have definitely made the point that we all going to start looking for fulfillment, and we will come to you to share your Bible of fulfillment. You seem to have achieved it, which is really important, because most of us do chase after success or happiness, and fulfillment might be this age we start looking 40 plus for sure. We start looking for what is the meaning of all this, and can we do something more with our life than just chasing success, I guess. I think the point you raised, the most important point for me personally, is connecting you to yourself. Isn't it? First, being happy with who you are, what you do is so much more important, because when that is not there, we are always looking for credit from someone else. We want that approval from someone else, and that becomes a problem, because it is very hard to sustain in a continuous, particularly in this world. Everyone have their own values, own agendas, own paths to follow. And if you are always consistently looking for somebody else's approval, it becomes really hard. So I think what you said, we have to look for approval from us to us, is, I think, is a really great point for all of us to remember. Thank you so much for that. This is something I have been thinking about. I think a year or so before I wrote this, happiness is happiness and art and science. Listening to you, I can't think of anything better than asking you, the expert, is fulfillment then an art or a science?
Sure. It's a great question. Yeah, you don't want to give your happiness to somebody else. So you want to create it internally, right? So that is why you got to change the rule. You don't expect the others' approval, and you create all the fulfillment and happiness from within, right? And the fulfillment is an art or science. Okay, so a science. I read a book called The Law of Success, and you probably would have Think and Grow Rich. You would have read that book, and I mastered that book a long time back when I was an engineering trainee in Naval Lignite Corporation, and so I followed a lot of things, and I became successful, but still I was not happy, right? So following a book is a science, because like, okay, there is a certain things, like it is a science, but whereas fulfillment is different. For me, if fulfillment comes from maybe talking to you guys. Maybe for Raj Rudran, he may be getting the fulfillment from supporting you, supporting the community, and taking care of his clients, patients, or whatever it is, right? Or playing golf, right? So it is completely different from each other, and we will have to figure out what fulfills us. But there is one thing in common. Definitely it is an art, it is not a science. And we do have some ideas of how to hack it and all that, but it definitely comes from something. So there is a way that we can create fulfillment. So that is the answer to your question. It is an art.
It is an art. Okay. I came to the conclusion, art and science. I will definitely revisit that one because you're the expert. I'll look into it. Thank you so much. And for people who are listening, Think and Grow Rich is an excellent book by Napoleon Hill. I think everyone must read that book. Please go and listen to the audible or read it. And I think it's a must read for every single person, really. It's a great book. So thank you so much for referencing that book as well. Today we are here not only to listen to you, to learn how we can all achieve that fulfillment, but you have, at least you seem to have hacked. What is the recipe of hacking that fulfillment? Can you share it with us, the secret as well, please?
Yes. As per Tony Robbins, there is, what are the human needs? You will say that, oh, food and clothes and shelter and all that. No, that is Maslow theory, right? That's in the management. But we are talking about psychological needs. There are 6 psychological needs. The first and topmost is certainty. We all need certainty, and we all need variety, uncertainty and variety. We cannot, even though we want certainty, within the certainty, we want a lot of variety, right? We want a good shirt, but not the same shirt, like a little different shirt, colorful shirt, t-shirt, or whatever it is, right? And then we also have the need for significance. We need to feel significant. Oh, I have done something good. So the needs can be fulfilled either externally, like you said, we can give the control to somebody, or we can generate it internally. Generating it internally is the best way to do it. Okay, so third one is significance. I used to be, when I was very egoistic, when my significance was on the top of the list of my 6 needs, if somebody doesn't respect me, or if I even perceive that they did not respect me, then I will have a problem with them and I fight with them. Whereas they would not even have thought about not respecting me, right? So that means so egoistic. So the significance is, of course, it's a human need. Everybody has it. But the human need can be fulfilled in a positive way. Like, oh, I have written a book. I have talked to everybody. I have helped 10 people. So I can internally feel significant, and then I can move on. So the fourth one is love and connection. So people cannot live without connection. So we are all here to talk to each other and socialize and all that. So love and connection is very important. 4. Out of these 4, even if 2 needs are met, we become thick friends. If we meet all the 4 needs, like Raj Rudran meets my certainty, my uncertainty, my significance by referring me to Dr. Menaca, and also he loves me, man, we become thick friends, right? Then now he is giving me an opportunity to grow, right? Grow, because we are all in the top circle in the Tamil world, trying to help people to lift them up. And of course, in turn, we are also growing together. So the growth is the 5th need, and final need is contribution. The 6th need is contribution, right? Everybody has a need to contribute to others. in earlier days, I had a need for certainty and significance. That's it. Like, I'm the only son. Whenever I want it. They have to give it to me. Otherwise, I become really, like feel insignificant and I shout at them. I don't love them. I don't contribute. I don't want variety. I don't grow. I just want. It is like a baby, right? Like baby wants, it is a lot of certainty need is there. But many times, if the top two needs are anything else, right, other than this certainty and significance, even if it is uncertainty, if you have a lot of uncertainty, you can become really good in business, because there is a lot of uncertainty in business, and people, those who can handle uncertainty, can succeed, right? So now, to come back, how did I hack? If you contribute, you meet all the 6 needs. You don't have to go for 1 need, 2 needs. If you go for significance, it is going to rub on the love on a wrong way. If I feel significant, then, people won't love me, right? So it is go across. But whereas if you contribute, you meet all the 6 needs and you get like bullseye, 100 marks all the time. When you meet all the 6 needs, you want to do it again and again. So that means you contribute. You can contribute with your money. You can contribute with your time, like Dr. Menaca does. You can contribute with energy. You can contribute. Sure, all the people, those who are in Zoom today, you are all contributors, and we all wish well for others. But when we do it consciously, and there is a way to ask, hey, there is a way to go hierarchically, so which we are going to talk about. And so when you contribute, you take I out of picture. So you focus on the other person, right? When it is not about you, you don't feel the misery. If you keep on thinking about yourself, you feel upset, you feel misery, you feel, okay. So when you do the contribution, when you do the contribution, your focus is on the other person. When you're focusing on others, you forget about yourself. When you forget about yourself, all your miseries are gone, at least, right? So that is one of the best ways you hack fulfillment, right? So I know that you all enjoy contributing, and you repeat your contribution in whatever way on a regular basis, and that is going to give you, and I will also give you some more tools before the end of this call for you, what questions you need to ask on a continuous basis, so that you can continuously, focus towards that fulfillment.
Thank you so much. I heard this explanation from one of my coach once, and I have stuck to it. It's contributing and serving yourself and serving others. It's like exhaling and inhaling for all the doctors and for others. It has to be in balance. If we exhale more or if we inhale more, it doesn't work. So you have to contribute as much as you have to serve yourself. So I think it has to be in a balance. And the second thing I learned, of course, it is from the guru Tony Robbins. It's an adapted version of Tony Robbins. I think it's from Andy Harrington. It is you want to fit in, but you also want to stand out. So we all have that need to stand out and be significant and someone looking up to you. But also we have this basic need, isn't it, and desire to fit into the crowd. These two are, like you said, it is in cross purpose. So unless you can find that balance in the right order, it becomes a really difficult thing. So thank you so much for bringing that out so beautifully. You have presented it so much better than I would perhaps. So thank you so much for that. We all want to hack fulfillment. We all want to, we have now decided to contribute, as you have said. So where can someone start with that? Because, fulfillment is a journey, isn't it? It is not just one day you wake up, you become fulfilled. It's not at all. We are all work in progress. So where can someone start? Where's a good point to start?
I was going to say gratitude, but I'll come back to it a little bit later. You start with yourself. So you start with yourself because you have to give yourself oxygen. before you put the mask on the other person, right? So you need to have energy for you to give energy to others. You need to have money, more money to give money to others. You need to have more skills to be able to give your skills to others. So you grow yourself, you contribute to yourself. So how do you take care of yourself? There are three parts to yourself. One is your physical, right? Physical is like your fitness, and you really take care of your fitness. And then you eat healthy, and then you nurture your soul, your body, and you feel good. And then mentally, you take care of yourself psychologically. So you do meditation or whatever. Stress, even if you eat right, even if you physically do a lot of exercise, stress can overtake it so quickly. So you need to take care of that. So first you start where you start, you have to contribute yourself. It is not selfish. Even though I say that it is the focus is on the other person, you will have to think as if like you have to put yourself, oh, I'm so thankful. Now gratitude comes in. Watch here. I'm so thankful to my body I'm so thankful to God for giving me this wonderful machine that I'm enjoying this world so much that I want to take care of it. I want to nurture it with good food. And that's why I'm here at RK Nature Cure and for the prevention for 2 weeks. That is where I'm talking to you from. And you need to look it up, rknaturecure.com. So take care of yourself. And gratitude is an antidote for misery, for anxiety, for anger, or all kinds of negative things. So if you practice gratitude, that itself is your feeling of abundance, right? That itself automatically can put you in that state. The quality of life is directly proportional to the quality of the state of mind you are in. So if you can put yourself in a gratitude mindset, that is another hacking, because there are more than 2,000, 3,000 emotions in there. And joyous, and then, like happiness, and, there are a lot of different things. But whereas you just jubilant, but, it's easy to go is gratitude. Man, it's hacking. So just go to gratitude. I started out with gratitude before I start the discussion today in this call, right? In the talk show. So I will end with the gratitude. So let us practice gratitude. How many of us have given, I'm so thankful to my breath. I'm so thankful to my eyes. I'm so thankful to my nervous system. I'm so thankful to my legs. I'm so thankful to my skull. I'm so thankful to my brain. So if you start looking at that, my pancreas, right? Whatever, in my heart. So there are thousands of things you need to be thankful about, which we take it for granted. Maybe some of us took our mothers for granted, our family for granted, our government for granted, our country for granted, our nature for granted. So those are all not the right things to do. When you feel grateful, then you appreciate them and you take care of them and you contribute towards them. And that is what is another way to give fulfillment. So one is contribution, and another one in the triangle is gratitude. The third one is coming.
Thank you so much.
And one more thing I just want to mention. There is a family meeting I want to suggest for all of you. And every day, if you all can, sit together either on Zoom or on the dining table or whatever it is. Hey, how was the day? What is the one moment you're thankful for today? Who are you thankful for? Why are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? Who are you thankful for? What, who, and why. And when you say that, that itself, brings a lot of positive energy, and it creates a good discussion around the table, and the family comes together so nicely. And the children bonds very quickly, very nicely. And we start learning about what is, if Raj says that, oh, I'm so happy about something happened in the golf course, then we come to know about who he met and what made him, happy, right? So end of the day, if somebody's birthday, we just brag about them and talk about why we are grateful to them and what are the magic moments about them. So when we create this kind of a habit in the family, and family goes well. And I do that in nonprofit. When I do an event, immediately I do a post event immediately on the same night. Hey, what went well? Who are you thankful for? What was a magic moment? People pour in and they talk, and whatever people would have got upset with, they all are gone. They don't even remember it anymore, period. And they go with good memories, right? So that is what we need to do.
Thank you so much. It is so important. I talk about gratitude journaling because that's what I do personally in the morning and evening. And people who are in the world of mindfulness and meditation, you will know that about body scanning. That the whole purpose of that is exactly what Raman really said, because you become conscious of all your body parts, and you become grateful to each part and each cell in your body for making you do anything else, because if those things don't work, you can't do anything else. There's no point about the rest of the things. So it is so important. So thank you so much. And I just remembered yesterday I went to meet a group of people who I studied with in Sri Lanka 32 years back, and except two of them, I haven't met any of them for the past 32 years. And perhaps it was my way of coping with my own trauma, because I left the university in a difficult state after a very bad experience. So might be I just blocked it out. Thanks to WhatsApp these days, so I was dragged into that group. However, I went to meet them yesterday. Of course, there were some difficult conversations, people who we lost due to the war in Sri Lanka, and also the experiences we had. But it was beautiful experience to meet them. And this morning, when I woke up, I definitely was grateful for that meeting and being able to reconnect. And it was as if we never left. It was, back to the same time, same zone. And because I was the odd one there because I left early and everyone else finished their courses. But they embraced me as exactly when I was that 3 decades back in the university. I'm so grateful for that experience. So I think it is about finding those moments to be grateful. You told how grateful you were about the show. Same thing, every day I'm really grateful for those people who helped me start this show. And like you mentioned, I'm grateful for Raj to connect me to you, and many more people who have contributed to this show in many ways. Some of them are still here, some of them are not here, and some of them might not be here in the future. But that doesn't take away from the fact that how they contributed to this show. And I think it is so important not to forget those moments and people and places. And so I think it makes you start and go through life with a positive mindset for sure. So thank you so much for bringing that. You've mentioned about how being able to survive uncertainty helps in business. I guess you were mentioning about the VUCA word, right? The volatility, the uncertainty, the complexity. But I'm sure you also practice servant leadership attitude. So why is servant leadership attitude important, and what is its role in attaining fulfillment? Can you please share with us?
Sure. Somebody said attitude of gratitude. It is, the practice is like we are doing it for the body, we also do it for the family. And we name everybody and then say thankful to them, why we are thankful to them. And then our friend circle and then, extension circle. So we can do that while we are running, while we are walking and all that. And then we can even talk to others. So you brought out a pretty good point of servant leadership. So there are 3 cornerstones. One is certainty, and one is contribution, and the next one is gratitude, and the third one is servant leadership. A servant leadership attitude is, hey, how can I serve you? What can I do for you? So you can be a leader. You can have all the powers in the world, But you don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be egoistic. You can be loving. You can be serving. I have seen a lot of leaders go and ask, even the gurgas, or the people those who are standing outside, and then guards, and they don't even identify themselves, and then they help them, and they just ask them how they're doing and all that. So a leader can be authoritative, or a leader can be, authoritative leader leads from the top. The servant leader leads from the bottom. When the servant leader leads from the bottom, that means he's the one who has recruited everybody, who everybody is under him, but he goes and says that, hey, hope you guys are all doing okay. Hey, what can I do for you? How can I support you? What can I help you with? What can I do for you to grow or succeed with what you want? It's not about what I want. It's what you want. So when you get what you want, I will automatically get what I want. So to in fact, to summarize, I have a table that says that servant leadership is not egoistic, but it is strong. Servant leadership is not authoritative, but it is loving. Servant leadership is not judgmental, but it is trusting. We trust everybody until they prove wrong. And because we are the ones, those who brought them into our team, right? So servant leadership is not being critical. It is being grateful for them. Servant leadership is not power struggling. It is contributing. Servant leadership is not overpowering. It is empowering. It is empowering them. Servant leadership is not controlling, but it is supporting. So when we practice this, servant leadership with contribution, it goes a long way. So that is where the fulfillment comes in. Otherwise, if you become authoritative, naturally, you are going to attract a lot of negative emotions, and then you are going to finally feel bad or whatever it is, right? So that is not the way to go. So these are the three cornerstones of fulfillment, basically.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for beautifully putting it in. And if you think about, we talk about charisma and charismatic leaders. If you really look at them very closely, like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, they all have followed the servant leadership. Even though they were in the front runners to do things, but they always supported others to grow, to achieve what their values were. So I think it was really nicely explained. So thank you so much for that. I have to pinpoint this. I read your book. In your book, you mentioned how each individual is connected to the universe. So can you explain the meaning of connection to the universe and how we can all attain it?
Sure, it's a beautiful question. Now, I am going to summarize the book in this particular question. Basically, we have three cornerstones, right? Contribution, gratitude, and servant leadership. And then the fourth point is you start serving yourself. So that is the fourth one. There are 7 steps, right? So the fifth one is you do contribute to the family. So that's the hierarchy. You take care of yourself, you take care of your spouse, you take care of your children, you take care of your extended family. Without that, if you go to the community, what is the point? If you're not taking care of your wife, if you're taking care of somebody else on the street, it is no good, right? So we got to take care of the family. And look at the family, word family. There is an I in there. So I is a part of the family. If you don't take care of the family, then if you don't take care of the neighbor, you're not going to be happy. So basically you are a part of family, you're part of the community. So you take care of the community, you are, and then you are a part of the nation, right? Nation is the country is doing, for me, there are 2 countries like India and the United States. And I'm thankful to both the countries. I'm trying to contribute back to both the countries. And I'm not trying, I am contributing back. So basically, when I am getting so much from the nation, I'm so thankful to them and then return the favor in a different way. And that is how we can strengthen the nation. Finally, we are a part of the universe. And you know that global warming is happening because people are abusive. They are not thankful for what is given to them by God, unless you are thankful and you preserve, our next generation, the coming generations are going to suffer. And that is not the best thing we can do to our future generations. So I is a part of universe. There is an I in the universe. So we need to take care of the universe as well. The best question to ask is, hey, what can I do for myself? What can I do for my wife? I can ask my wife, hey, what can I do for you? You can do whatever you want. Sometimes that is not what they want. You have to ask them and find out. And that also that holds true for the children, that holds true for your volunteers, that holds true for your employees, that holds true for the nation. You can ask, hey, what can I do? And what can we do for the universe? Okay, less usage of plastic bottles, right? Recycling, or no wastage. And probably when I go to the hotel, if I stay for 5 days, maybe I will ask them to wash give it for all the bed sheets and other things only one time. And most of the time I just use it 3 days and all. I don't even ask them to wash. So try to, in whatever small way you can contribute back to the universe. That is how we can preserve. So that is how we all can be happy. Supposing you figure out everything and you have become so good, and the universe, it has become too hard, you cannot go out, and nobody is coming out, how are you going to live? And then now everything becomes useless, right? So definitely we have to take care of the universe.
Thank you so much. Beautifully explained. As they say, charity begins at home. So it starts from you and your close ones, loved ones, before you go out. And I think I will definitely remember what you said, to ask the community and ask the family to ask what they are grateful for. I talk about how I practice and why it is important. But frankly, I have never done that in that way. So thank you so much for that great tip. I think that is something I will definitely take away from today's talk and try to practice for sure. That is my takeaway. What would your 5 must-do takeaways for our audience, please?
Sure. The first one is contribute to yourself first, physically, and giving a nutritious food to yourself, and taking care of your mental health by doing meditations or whatever. And that is the first one. Contribute to yourself. You earn a lot of money. More than double the money, so that you have enough 100% for yourself, 100% for others. It could be for charity, it could be for the family, it could be for travel, it could be for various other things that fulfill, you can find fulfillment with, right? So you need to have, there's a lot of surplus money. When you earn double the amount of money, set aside at least 20 to 30% aside, 10% for travel, 10% for charity, 10% for family, whatever it is, right? And that is how you don't even have to think twice to start spending on yourself or on others. So that is number 2. And number 3, practice gratitude. Always start with the gratitude and end with the gratitude, and practice at home with the family. And it is called magic moments, like it is Tony's word. Hey, we all did this and that and that. What was the magic moment? What was one thing which you really liked about it? Share why you liked about it. Who are you thankful for? You combine the gratitude there. And that is what is really working in my family. And that is, and also I practice gratitude, as you say, instead of journal, when I run or walk, I keep saying that, like what I'm thankful for, either to myself or to my friends. And the 4th one is develop a servant leadership attitude. And the most important thing is ask yourself, what can I do for you? That is the servant leadership attitude. What can I do for you? That is, I can ask myself, what can I do for my mind, for my soul, for my body, for Dr. Menaca, for my family, for my wife. So what can I do for you is the constant question. If you ask, you are focusing on others, That is the fourth one. The last one is do family meetings where gratitude is the primary part. And finally, go to my website called fulfilledlifefoundation.com. Fulfilledlifefoundation.com, where probably you will be able to see the book. Otherwise, send a WhatsApp text to me at 972-754-5027, and I will send you my free book, a digital book, either in English or in Tamil. So those are the takeaways.
Thank you so much. I think it is definitely worth practicing all those points, what you said. One last question I want to ask you, because I know you have been a speaker in various platforms and you are the leader with Tony Robbins. Who better to ask? What has been your experience with the talk show, and any suggestions for us?
I enjoyed this experience right from the time I got introduced to you, and the way you communicated with me, and we worked together, tested things together, and you're doing the live show, and you have an assistant, you are professional, and you have a beautiful smile, and you have a beautiful background, and you have a beautiful audience, and people, those who could not attend today will be able to watch this. That is another beautiful thing. So I don't think I have any more suggestions, and you are picking, so you're picking the right people, coming to the right channel, you have the right attitude, and your book is an awesome book. You are a great author, and I respect all your experience that you have put into that book. And I'm so blessed to be here today, and I'm so thankful to you guys.
Well, thank you so much. You're being very humble and very generous with your compliments to the show, but I'll take it with both hands and be grateful. That's what I have been told. I should start practicing. So what better time to start than now? So thank you so much. It's been really humbling, and it's an honor to have you as a speaker. And for people who are on the Zoom, please do hold on. The show is not over yet, and you will be able to ask your personal questions to Dr. Raman Velu in a few minutes. So please hang in there. So following tradition, let me announce the next speaker for the next show. Next week, we will be having a 96th episode, Fertility Preservation, with Dr. Malini Uppal. She's a medical director specialist in fertility and assisted reproduction, Genet City Fertility, Farrington, London. And she has over 20 years of experience in the fertility and assisted reproduction field. As the medical director at Genet City Fertility, Dr. Uppal has been able to help hundreds of people go on to create families and preserve their fertility. Dr. Uppal has a special interest in polycystic ovarian syndrome, endometriosis, and repeated implantation failure. Dr. Uppal is also passionate about educating the younger generation about fertility and their options surrounding this topic. Dr. Uppal is a member of the British Fertility Society and associate member of Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. She's highly skilled in gynecological ultrasound and 3 and 4 dimensional scanning. So I am really looking forward for Dr. Malini Uppal. I do know her personally for the past few years. So I'm really looking forward to her coming and contributing to this show. Now over to Raj Rudran for giving the vote of thanks.
So if I were to say it's truly a pleasure, it's an understatement. But it is truly a pleasure to be here to give vote of thanks for Dr. Raman Velu, and also the others I will come to in a minute. Anyone meeting Dr. Velu would know, in a matter of minutes, would realize he has that fulfilled life. It doesn't take long for you to see. He's calm and collected and contented. So it comes across. And after I read his book, he kindly gave me a copy of his book. And it was my intention to have him on the show. And I'm glad he's here. And thank you very much. And also, I thank the team for giving me the opportunity to give the vote of thanks today. to dear Raman. So the three things that he mentioned that captured my attention: the contribution, self-development, and gratitude. So in the team, we are all volunteers. We are contributing. And not only that, most of us are doing that in a way, in various other forms as well. And I do practice the contribution and the self-development. That's sort of natural thing. If you want to achieve something, people tend to do that. The last thing is something new to me, the gratitude. I need to try that. Maybe it's too late for me, but I will still try that, at least for the next few years. So that's something I haven't thought about, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense that you need to be grateful for what you have, because there are people in much worse circumstances, and we must be grateful for what we have. So it's great. And also, what was nice was you put that in a distilled essence very clearly, and anyone can practice these things. So that was very, very nicely done, very carefully done. And the examples you gave are also very interesting. So thank you very much for being with us and giving us that distilled essence of life fulfillment. Thank you, Raman, and I'm sure we will continue to be in touch and develop other areas as well, and other people and other communities as well in the future. I also need to thank our audience. Without their support, we can't continue this show, and also their support and sponsorship. Many people have offered to sponsor and so on. So thank you very much, the audience. Then Menaca, the host. I mean, she must be a font of all knowledge now. Every show, she prepares so much. She does all the research and prepares the questions, etc. And by now, she must be the font of all knowledge. And also, she comes across, she interrogates, if I say so. He interrogates with a smile, and people wouldn't even realize she's asking pointed questions. So thank you, Menaca. Lastly, but not leastly, the key people are the team members. Kirubai, Rohan, who is here, Vani, and who else is here? Frank is here, and also Swati. We are all here. So without them, we cannot run the show. And also, not today with us today, here are Julie, Raj Madhavan, Dr. Niranjan, Kanta Niranjan, Tara, and Suja. So thank you to them too. So thank you very much, Guy. It's nice to be here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Raj. As ever, you know how to keep the audience and make them listen to you 100%. So thank you so much. And from one expert of that to the other, Dr. Raman Velu, thank you so much for that awesome presentation. I'm sure we all have something to take away today, and something to ponder, some of them as well, as Raj said about the attitude of gratitude. And I think it is, every time you think you have learned something, there's another level to develop that skill further. So thank you so much. You're a wealth of information and knowledge. So thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show and gracing our show. A huge thank you to you. And for people who are on the audience, thank you once again. Without you, like Raj said, this is not possible. We are going to be into the 96th and 100th soon episodes, which is not an easy task. So thank you so much, and gratitude to all of you for being able to get there. And huge thank you for all the team members, like Raj said, for making us there. Let's not forget the people who are listening to us on Facebook and helping us all the time, commenting, liking, and sharing these clips with everyone. Another request to you is please do subscribe to the Meet Menaca Talk Show YouTube channel, so that we can share this knowledge and wisdom from so many speakers to people who are far and wide across the globe. So thank you so much for all your support. For people on the Facebook, it has come to that time of the day to say goodbye. Until we see you again next week, same place, same time, to talk about fertility with Dr. Malini Uppal. Until then, stay safe, be happy, and keep smiling.